friends, today I will discuss sonnet number 18 by William Shakespeare. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Before coming to the text, let's know something about the author, the writer. Who was William Shakespeare? William Shakespeare was the greatest British dramatist and poet. He was born on 23rd April 1564 and died on the same date in 1660. He lived just for 52 years, and his parents were John Shakespeare, who was a butcher and a farmer. His mother was Mary Arden, who was the daughter of a local farmer. Shakespeare started writing poems around 1592, but he joined in the Lord Chamberlain's company of actors around 1595. Then he played parts in the company, but he could not sign as an actor. But then he started writing plays for his company. And the famous comedies of Shakespeare are the Comedy of Errors, Much Ado About Nothing, Twelfth Night, and As You Like It. He also wrote many tragedies. His famous tragedies include Hamlet, Othello, Macbeth, and King Lear. Apart from plays, he also wrote 3 long poems. They are Venus and Adonis, The Rape of Lucrece, and The Passionate Pilgrim. He also wrote a sonnet sequence, and his sonnet sequence consists of 154 sonnets. And Shall I Compare Thee a Summer's Day is one of the 154 sonnets. His sonnets came out in the year 1609 in the printed form, and it was printed by Thomas Thorpe. And the sonnets called sugared sonnets, and the beginner of the sonnet was Mr. W.H., who was the Earl of Pembroke, a friend of the poets. The sonnets were addressed to him, but the sonnets were divided into 2 groups. The first one, known as the Young Man Sonnets, was addressed to the young man, the young friend of the poets, and the rest of the poems were addressed to the Dark Lady, also known as the Dark Lady Sonnets. Now, Shakespeare was an objective artist. An objective artist was not to reveal himself in his creations, but only in the sonnets Shakespeare expressed himself. And so Wordsworth famously said about the sonnets, with this key Shakespeare unlocked his heart. Shakespeare's life and about his friends, we come to know something about from the sonnets. Now let's come to the text of sonnet number 18. Now, what is the sonnet about? The sonnet deals with the following themes: the praise of the perfect beauty of the poet's beloved friend, the destructive power of time and death, and finally, immortality through poetry. Shakespeare was in love with his friend, Mr. W.H. He was the Earl of Pembroke, a man of high rank. Now, his friend was beautiful. His youth was glamorous. He tries to find a natural image to describe his friend. Now, the image of a summer's day comes to his mind, but he finds the image of summer inadequate to describe his friend. What he says? Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? The poet is uncertain whether to compare his friend's beauty to a summer's day will be perfect or whole in all respects. His friend is more beautiful than summer. So it is a rhetorical question. The answer is implied in the question. The poet compares the friend to a summer's day, but finds that the comparison is not proper, the comparison is not perfect, because his friend's beauty surpasses the beauty of a summer day. So he says, thou art more lovely and more temperate. You are more beautiful than summer, and you are more temperate. You have a mild character. You are free of extremes. You are neither too hot nor too cold. You are temperate. You are moderate in nature. So look, Shakespeare is describing not only the external beauty of the friend, but also the internal beauty, the psychic beauty of his friend. So he says more temperate. Now, why does the poet find the competition inadequate? Because he knows that summer day may be beautiful, but it has some imperfections. It has some negative sides. So, what are the negative sides of summer? Rough wind to shake the darling birds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. So, the May is the summertime, and in the month of May, beautiful flowers bloom, but those beautiful flowers are destroyed by the stormy wind, by the rough wind. So, darling, here the darling means lovely and pretty. Birds, the birds of flowers, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. The summer is short lived. Here, lease means a contract. Nature provides summer 2 months leave or 1 month leave to stay, and after the lapse of 1 month, the summer will give place to the autumn. So, summer is short lived, its duration is short. So, these are the imperfections of the summer day. So, this is about the first quatrain. Now let's come to the second quatrain of the poem. The poet continues to find the inadequacies of the season. He still describes the negative sides of the summer. Now what are they? Sometime too hot, the eye of heaven shines. Here the eye of heaven refers to the sun. Here the poet uses the figure of speech, periphrasis. In this figure, a roundabout expression is made about something. Here the eye of heaven thus implies the sun. So the sun shines very hot sometimes in the month of summer. It is too hot for men to bear the heat of the sun. And often is his gold complexion dimmed. The sun shines in the sky, its face is golden, but the golden, beautiful face of the summer is darkened by the floating clouds. So, the golden face of the summer is dimmed. It is darkened by the clouds. So, in the summer, there are two extremes. Sometimes it is too hot, too beautiful, too bright, and sometimes it is cold, sometimes it is dark. But the poet's friend does not suffer from these extremes of character. Rather, he has a good equilibrium in his character. And he still goes on to describe the imperfections of the summer. Every fair from fair sometimes declines. Note the use of the word fair. It is used twice in the line but with different meanings. What is the meaning of the first fair? Every fair. And the first fair means the object of beauty or the beautiful object. And from fair, in the second fair, it means beauty. So first fair means the object of beauty and second fair means beauty. So every fair from fair sometime decline. It suggests that every beautiful object loses its beauty sometimes with the passage of time or with the misfortune of a day. So every beautiful object loses its beauty for two reasons. What are the two reasons? By chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. By chance, by accidents, by misfortune. Say for example, a beautiful flower is a bloom in summer. A storm may come and it may destroy that beautiful flower, or a person comes and accidentally plucks the flower, or it may be the insect destroy the flower. So this is by chance. And what are the other reason for the fading of the summer's beauty? Or nature's changing course under it is the changing quality of nature. Nature is always changing. The season is always moving. So beauty may be lost by the change of season. And look at the phrase word untrimmed. Untrimmed means uncontrolled, untrammeled. The season may change, but the principle of change of nature remains intact. It remains untrimmed, remains untrammeled. This is Shakespearean sonnet. In a Shakespearean sonnet, there are 14 lines, 3 quatrains followed by a couplet. Now we will start with the third quatrain of the poem. Now the poet has described the beauty of his friend, and a summer's day is not a perfect metaphor, a perfect image to describe his friend's beauty. Now, his friend's beauty suffers from one threat, that it is to be destroyed by time. It is to be destroyed by death. His beauty will not last forever. Then how will the poet triumph over these enemies of human beauty and youth? How the poet will conquer time and death? Now he continues in the third quatrain. But thy eternal summer shall not fade. So the summer of his poet's friend is eternal, is everlasting, is immortal. Its beauty will not wither. It will not lose its luster. Why? How will his beauty eternized? It will be eternized by the poet's power to write verse, write poems about the beauty. Nor lose possession for that fair thou wast. So you will not lose the beauty you possess. Possession, and the fair means beauty. Wast means here possess. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade. A death is here personified. Death is common to all. Each and every man must die someday. He may be a king, he may be an emperor, he may be a poor. Every man must come to death. So death is very proud of the fact that everyone must come to him. Everyone moves under the shade of death, under the shadow of death. So death sometimes brags, sometimes takes pride in its power to destroy everything, power to take a man away anytime, anywhere. So death brags. But in the case of poet's friend, death shall not be able to take pride in its power, nor the time will be able to take pride in its power to ravage, in its power to destroy. How? How will Shakespeare achieve this feat? How will he conquer time and death? When in eternal lines to time thou rest. When in the lines of my poem I will capture your beauty, when in the poems, in the lines of my verse, I will describe your beauty, I will paint your beauty. So, in this third quatrain, in the last line of the third quatrain, the poet talks about the power of art to outlive humanity, to outlive the artist or the literary or the object of beauty. Here, Shakespeare is using the grafting imagery. The poet friend is beautiful. His beauty is summer-like, but his beauty suffers from one threat. What is the threat? That it will fade with the passage of time, and one day it will vanish from the earth because of the icy hands of death. So, how will the quality of timelessness be put into the otherwise beautiful friend? It is by grafting his beautiful friend to the tree of time. If the beautiful friend is grafted to the tree of time, the new tree will give birth to a beautiful thing without death. And Shakespeare will do this in his poetry, in his verse. So now come to the last two lines. The last two lines in a Shakespearean sonnet is called a couplet. He says, "So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long live this, and this gives life to thee." So long as men can breathe, so long as men are alive on the earth, so long as humanity exists on the earth, and people have eyes to see, so long live this. So long my poem live, my poem will live, my poem will be alive, and this gives life to thee. So this poem will renew the beauty of my friends. In my poem, my friend will be alive. Here, the poet is describing the power of verse, the power of poetry to triumph over time and death. As a famous dictum runs, Vita brevis ars longa. Life is short, but art is long. The poet's life is short, but his creation will outlive his life. His friend is life may be short, but he will be immortal in its verse. So thus Shakespeare immortalizes his friend, immortalizes the beauty of his friend in his verse. And we, standing on the 21st century, is also reading the poem of the great poet, and his friend becomes alive. The beauty of his friend, the beauty and youth of his friend becomes alive while I read this poem. Thank you all.